What if the most profound moments in human history weren't just inspired by the heavens, but were actually a direct signal from them? Today, we're diving into a strange and honestly pretty compelling theory that connects ancient prophets to a mysterious, repeating star.
And this is really the central question we're getting into. It's a huge idea, right? It kind of challenges centuries of belief and suggests that what we've always called divine revelation might have a tangible astronomical source. So to even begin to unpack this theory, our investigation has to start way back in the historical record. We have to ask, what exactly were our ancestors seeing up in the sky all those thousands of years ago? And get this wasn't just some isolated event. From the deserts of Arabia to the banks of the Nile, ancient civilizations, separated by huge distances and even centuries, all wrote about the same strange object. It didn't act like a star or a planet or really anything else they recognized. Now, what's absolutely fascinating is when you look at how these totally separate cultures named this thing, they all gave it a name that implies it's a message. The Arabians called it the returning light, which suggests a cycle, right? The Egyptians called it the herald, as if it were announcing something. And the Babylonians, well, they were pretty direct, the messenger star. It's like they all felt it was trying to communicate. And we really need to be clear here. This wasn't just a simple mistake. Ancient astronomers were brilliant observers. I mean, they knew the planets, they knew the stars, they knew comets. This object was different. It would vanish for decades at a time, but then it would come back with this predictable regularity. It wasn't just an object, it behaved like a signal. Okay, so now let's see how this celestial mystery might connect to something even more profound. Because at the exact same time our ancestors were tracking this object, history shows this explosion of prophetic revelations. So the question becomes, are these two things related? Think about the language that's used in ancient texts to describe these moments of, divine communication. This phrase, the sky opened, it just appears again and again. And then there's this one. A common theme across so many different prophetic experiences is this overwhelming, brilliant light that comes from above. But the light wasn't just a visual thing. It was tied to an internal experience, this sudden, profound understanding, like an infusion of knowledge. And finally, the whole experience is often interpreted as a voice, a direct communication. So you have a light, an infusion of knowledge, a voice from above. The pattern across cultures is just undeniable. And these descriptions, they aren't from some obscure texts. They're at the very heart of stories about history's most significant figures. I mean, think of the light in the cave of Hira from Muhammad, or Ibrahim, who navigated entire civilizations by the stars. Joseph's dreams were explicitly about astronomical bodies. Even Solomon's winds are interpreted by some as a metaphor for celestial events. The connection is just, it's everywhere. And this brings us right to the core of the theory. Were these divine interventions from some supernatural realm, or were they interpretations of a tangible, predictable, astronomical event, that strange messenger star we were just talking about? This leads us to a really fascinating and, pretty controversial theory, one that attempts to scientifically explain the source of these revelations. So, the proposed scientific explanation is what's called a nova-like event. So picture a distant star that doesn't just burn steadily. Instead, it periodically flares up in this massive explosion, sending an intense pulse of light and energy across the cosmos. It's a cyclical event, kind of like a steady cosmic heartbeat. So here's how the theory works, in 3 simple steps. Step 1, far away in space, a star pulses. Step 2, that powerful burst of light travels for who knows how long, but it arrives at Earth on a very predictable schedule. And step 3, this is the kicker, the timeline of major prophetic revelations throughout history seems to align with the calculated appearances of this pulse of light. Coincidence? Or were prophets simply the ones looking up at the right time? Now, this might all sound like ancient history and a bunch of speculation, but the story takes a very sharp turn, right into the modern era of astronomy.
In the 1980s, astronomers were just reviewing some routine deep sky surveys, and they stumbled on an anomaly, a data point that just didn't fit any known stellar behavior. What they found was a distant star that was behaving just like the ancient accounts described. It was releasing powerful bursts of light on a regular, cyclical basis, separated by a few decades of total silence. And here's where the story gets really strange. Soon after its discovery was logged, the star's designation and all the data associated with it became classified. It basically vanished from public astronomical records, which makes independent verification nearly impossible. But despite the classification, it has reportedly been observed again, confirming its predictable cycle, before it once again faded from view. Its behavior perfectly mimics a signal: appear, broadcast, and then go silent. All of this brings the entire mystery right here to our doorstep. Because this isn't just about the past, it's about the very near future. Based on its observed cycle, the next time this cosmic pulse is predicted to arrive and be visible from Earth is around the year 2038. This ancient phenomenon is on a collision course with our modern world.
And so we're left with the ultimate question. Was the voice of God a metaphor for the light of a distant, pulsing star? Was divine inspiration delivered not by an angel, but by a wave of cosmic energy?
We don't have the answers, but what this whole theory suggests is that the phenomenon the ancients called the messenger star is on its way back, and in just a few years, we might all get a chance to look up and see it for ourselves.